Okay, so let me pre-frame this a little bit. Remember, my video is all about how we make life easier, more simple, and perform better. This one is focusing on performing better. Find what motivates you. Now, of course, it's the done thing that we look at a whole bunch of videos and we try and find out sources of motivation that will work for us. But intrinsically, you already know what motivates you. And it might be something that's a little bit strange or a little bit weird, and that's okay. Lean into it. So sometimes, and I'll give you some examples of some of those things that are a little bit strange, but they work as motivation. And I hope that it spurs something for you that you can tap into. Okay, here's some of the strange things. For example, when I'm running, and if I want to run fast, I sometimes think that I'm being chased or that I'm running away from something. So I'm not just thinking, someone's chasing me with a chainsaw or something like that, but it might be a thing. If it catches me, then, so it's a case of, and again, this is going to sound weird, it's going to sound wacky, but I think, okay, COVID's chasing me. If I don't stay above a certain speed, I'm going to end up with COVID. So the idea of getting COVID and working hard for the next minute, I'll rather work harder in the next minute than, but for whatever reason it does, it works. It triggers something in my mind. So yeah, it's kind of that case of running away from pain. So I play those little games in my mind. And as I say, it works for me. The other thing is, it might be, and I've just finished writing the final version of my book, about to go off and get published. That's not the point. This is the point. Sometimes when I get close to the finish line of a piece of work, I can sometimes slow up considerably because I sense the finish line's there and I'm tired. And sometimes I lack the energy to have that intensity all the way over the finish line. Not so much in sporting pursuits. I actually get faster and I can deploy more intensity towards the finish line. But when it comes to something that's more intellectually based, like writing a report or finishing a book or something, I can find that energy, that dip in energy kicks in earlier. So what I did to motivate myself is I pretended that my book was leaked and someone else was polishing it the same time I'm polishing my version, and they're going to try and go to press before me. That gave me that sense of urgency I needed. Now, all this is fake, but even thinking something fake, like I'm running and COVID's chasing me, or I'm writing a book and it's been leaked and someone's trying to publish my book before me, even though those things are fake, they do something. I don't know why, and I don't care, but they do something. They switch something in my mind and motivates me. So that might be because I've got some challenges. We've all got some challenges, and some people have got ADHD, and their challenges in terms of staying focused and getting stuff done is different from people who don't have ADHD. And there's other things that might be challenges. So we need to take those into account, and maybe that changes the nature of the motivational factors that work for us. So maybe what I've shared with you won't work for you because it's just so ridiculous. Now, I know it's ridiculous. I'm putting it out there. But I'm happy, especially with so very few subscribers, to be really candid about what's worked for me. And that's another premise of these videos. Not only will I share stuff to make life more simple, easier, and to perform better, but I only share the stuff that has worked for me. Not stuff I've read from a book or I've heard someone else talk about. I've used it myself and it's worked for me, which is another reason why I make these videos, because it reinforces that behavior for me. The fact I talk about it means I get better at it and more disciplined in using it. So that's the primary reason why I make these videos. If, of course, it benefits you, that's even better. That is a bonus. So, knowing that this works for me, it might not work for you. So, where do you go from here? Try it. I have shared what works for me And some of the things I've shared may sound a little bit silly, but what you find works for you, you don't have to share. So don't worry about if you think it's a little bit silly if people found out about it. I mean, the idea of being chased by COVID, or that someone else has, been leaked a copy of your book and they're trying to beat you to publishing it, a little bit silly. Works for me. So free yourself to find what works for you, irrespective of the challenges that you have. Because of the challenges you have and just the way that your brain is made up, what motivates you will be different than others. I mean, you don't have to go much further than sports stars, for example, because it's pretty readily available to find out what their motivation was to get into the sport that they got into. And it's quite varied. It is quite different. So everything is different for everyone. All I'm saying is free yourself to do what works for you. Don't try and manipulate your mindset to try and absorb what works for someone else. What works for you? Those are a couple of things that work for me. If I want to run hard, I pretend I'm being chased. If I want to get work done, I pretend that there's going to be something bad happen if I don't get it done. That's it. That's it. You know what to do. Like if you like, subscribe if you want to subscribe. Either way, hope to catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.